Hi there, this is Penny Manus Diefendorf with your Daily Grain. Let's talk at great length about the art of letting go. So firstly, let's talk about why we need to let go. Because as we go through life, we have different phases, we evolve, people around us evolve, situations evolve, and we cannot take everything with us. And that includes our own feelings, our memories. There's only enough space in our head for so much. And so, like our closets, it's a splendid idea to do a continual revolving house cleaning of ourselves, our situations, the people we associate with. And this is not cold-blooded, it's not cold-hearted, it simply makes sense. So the why we should let go is very simple. It liberates us. It liberates us for the new, the fresh, the more suitable, the more appropriate. So having said that, leads us nicely to what? What should we let go? And that is pretty simple as well. In a nutshell, it is what is not working. What has ceased to be relevant for us. So, to say that, it is pretty simple. For us to actually figure out what that is, what isn't working, this seems to be a neat trick. Because if we are not paying attention, if we want to fool ourselves, we can fool ourselves about what is working and what is not in our lives. Typically, we do this by pretending something is working when it is absolutely not. So these are the turning points, I should say, that mark our decisions on what to keep and what to release. So we will look at that in greater detail shortly. So choosing what needs to go is the most critical. In fact, probably a lot of us are petrified of letting go because we wonder, are we making the right decisions? So this is the reason it's important, because if we keep the things that we should release, and if we release the things that we should keep, our lives are going to be rather worse for the wear, right? So it is essential to look within yourself and to have a very clear understanding of who you are, what you need, what makes you the best person you could possibly be, who makes you the best person you could possibly be, who are the people that you like yourself when you are with them. These are decision points, if you like, about whether something works for you. So today, have a think about that. Have a think about what is your criteria for assessing that something is working. So this is the problem most of us face when we realize that we are just holding on to all this baggage, all these things. It's akin to hoarding old appliances and stuff like that. We do it in the hope that they'll start working, or we'll find a use for it, or we will be able to repair it, etc., etc., etc. So it really helps if we have that criteria I was just talking about. Some standards, some hard and fast rules to say, this is the result I want. If I don't get this result, then that means that XYZ is not working. Very important, because the alternative is too easy. The alternative is just to hold on to stuff, to hold on to people in the vague aim or idea that they will suddenly and spontaneously start producing the results that they have not yet produced up to date. You know, this is a case of hope springeth eternal when there's no basis for hope. And so that is what your criteria should provide for you. A reality check that makes you distinguish between hope and wishful thinking. So today, if you didn't do so yet, think about making a set of guidelines for yourself, for each area of your life, for material stuff, for career stuff, relationship stuff, psychological stuff in terms of fears and beliefs. What works for you? Make a list. When it comes to what doesn't work, there are two sides of that coin. So things might not work either because of something in you or something in them, where them is either a person or a situation or a set of circumstances. This is the other thing that it is vital to gauge before you do any letting go or releasing. Because if it is you, then maybe you don't want to release that thing or person. Maybe those things are in place for you to realize some potential in yourself, for you to change, for you to become a better version of the current you. So this is very crucial to have that level of honesty. Which is it? You or them? And if it is them, then that letting go kicks in. So the good news is, the higher up you are on the level of consciousness, the more likely that it is them. The more likely that it is the situation or the set of circumstances that are not good for you. Because this is true. When you are more and more conscious, life becomes more and more effortless, because you can say, if something is too much of an effort, that it is not meant for you, that you are actually meant to be doing something else. But you can only say that if you have an extensive and comprehensive knowledge of yourself and an equally extensive understanding of what is going on around you, and a perception of reality. Okay, so all of these three things, and you are conscious. So while we are journeying to those levels of consciousness, this is a critical distinction to make before you let go of anything. What is the triggering factor? Is it something within you, or is it really something outside of yourself that is not working? So in fact, the Serenity Prayer, which is, if I can remember it, Lord, help me to change the things I can and accept things I can't, and the wisdom to know the difference. This is all about consciousness. When you are conscious, you will live the Serenity Prayer. You will know what to change. You will know what to release. You will know what to accept. You will know what to change within yourself. And all of the above is absolutely essential to releasing things in your life and to going forward without bitterness, without resentment, without a sense of failure or loss or betrayal. And these are the things that are commonly associated with having to let go. And in fact, you won't even have to let go. You know, people are not having to wrest things from your cold, dead hand. You will voluntarily let go because you know this does not match you, this is not good for you, or that something is surplus, something is in excess, you need to cut back. This is the wonderful balancing act that life then becomes, and it becomes really joyful actually and enjoyable, because it's really thrilling to be able to make great choices. It's really thrilling to be able to say with certainty, I don't want this, I do want that. And this is the purpose of letting go at the end of the day, right? So think about that today and think in your life, do you have that certainty? Are you able to change the things that you can and accept the things that you cannot change? Do you know what you should change, why you should change it, and what should remain constant? This is a brilliant dissection to do in your life. As I mentioned earlier, once you have that certainty in yourself that you are choosing correctly, then acceptance and releasing are just a natural progression. You know, if you take, for example, relationships, when you find that certain relationships are giving you more hurt and harm and betrayal, then releasing them just becomes a natural thing to do. Is there a sense of loss? Might there be a sense of grief? Yes, but it does not at all alter your determination to make it so, simply because it is the right thing for you. So, if we had to come up with a trigger that allows letting go to be that fine art, it is ultimately what is right for you, a solid sense of what behooves you, what nourishes you, and what just weighs you down. And in fact, the sequence of a gentle letting go, I should say, will always be acceptance first and then release. Because you must find peace within yourself. You must feel viscerally the need to accept the situation, the need to accept that you must release, and then you'll be able to just release, to just let it go without conflict, without, untidy edges, shall I say. So cleanly. You will be able to let go cleanly when you have acceptance. So this is also another important thing to remember. It's never a good idea to just burn your bridges on impulse, because more often than not, you will feel regret because you had not resolved it within yourself. Perhaps you had not considered whether it was you or them, and all the rest of the things that we were talking about. So it is very critical to find peace with whatever it is you feel you need to release. Accept that, release. Accept, release. And you will be brilliant. You will live a life without regret. And then finally, another prop, I will say, to being able to let go gracefully is having a plan B, is having an idea of what is next for you. Where do you want your life to lead? So this is also in effect living life positively, right? Because if you're just cutting things off, that is negating a lot of stuff. It's always a good idea to have stuff to fill your life back in. So it's like a duality of life. You release and you bring in more. You release, you bring in more. So plan B is very critical. Think where you want to go. Think what is drawing you forward, which necessitates releasing what is holding you back. Make sense? So then life becomes literally a forward-moving cycle where you are quite naturally shedding things that you don't need, or that are in the past, or associations that have expired, and you are moving forward onto new terrain, new experiences, new ways of being, new ways of thinking. This is your plan B. And just imagine it. If it isn't in existence at the moment, it's not a question of faking it. I will repeat this as often as I need to. It is reimagining, reinventing your life, revolving. So revolving, that goes well with the wheel metaphor. Literally revolving your life, and through that evolving your life to whichever heights you wish to take it. So that is the fine art of letting go, how to let go, why you should let go, and then all the benefits of letting go gently.